So I'll just copy this, Control C. Then I will go back to the test package, chapter 16, inheritance, and alt insert Java class test. Okay. Again, to save some time, I will copy something from the previous chapter, chapter 11 maybe. Okay, so let me copy the setup and both the unit test cases from this chapter. So Control C and then Control V. Okay, and now let me make some necessary changes required for this chapter. I will change it market data provider with inheritance. Okay, and also let me change the serialized file name. Setup method is looking good. Now let's go back here. Okay, so where market data, I will change this Pojo object. And first of all, let me change the display name also. So I will change it to something else with inheritance. Copy the same, and also I will do the same for deserialized unit test case with inheritance. Okay, so market data with inheritance, we create this new object and we set all those necessary fields. Also set the market data provider, and let me also set the ID field, set ID which is inherited from the parent class, and I will just mark it as something as say ID underscore 01. Okay, or maybe I will just mark it something else. Maybe I did in 5. Okay, and then we write this object to the byte stream. Okay, so this test serialize is done. Let's move to the test deserialized unit test case. I will copy this object, and once we deserialize it back, we need to cast it back with inheritance. And this is all okay. Now I need to assert. Okay, so this ID field, right? This ID field is inherited from the parent class, and parent class is not implementing serializable, which means that whatever we are setting here at the time of serialization, it's written here, but once we deserialize it back, it will call the constructor of ID of identifiable class. So it means that if I go back to here, so it will call the constructor here. We don't have any constructor, but let me generate a default constructor here to make it clear. Constructor, and I will select none. I want a default constructor, and I will just write it out. That's system out inside. Sorry, inside constructor. Okay, so that we are sure that once we deserialize it back, this default constructor is called. But for data market data with inheritance, there would be nothing called back once we deserialize it. So I can also write a similar constructor here. So let me create a default constructor, alt insert constructor, select none, and here I will copy, do the same thing, identifiable this. So I will change it to market data with this. Okay, so now we have printed this statement so that we are sure that once we run our test cases, we know that whether the constructor is being called or not. So as per our theory, when we deserialize it, the constructor for market data with inheritance will not be called. But for the identifiable part, for when we try to deserialize ID field, for it, this constructor would be called. So in the deserialized unit test case, we expect that this statement would be printed, only this statement. So this is what we are going to assert. Okay, so also I will assert that because we are not setting it to any value, and it will take the default value of null. So assert null and from serialize dot get ID. Yeah, this ID would be null because the constructor will be called and it will set the ID field to null value. So guys, let's run the test cases and understand it better now. So we have got this test serialize unit test case where we are getting this market data object and setting all the fields, including the set ID field from the parent class, and then writing it. So let's run this first. So I will run test serialize. Okay. Okay, so here you can see that the first thing which is printed is inside identifiable constructor, and after that it is market data with inheritance constructor. And this is the field, all the private fields. These are all the private fields with ID as 05. Okay, so if we just walk through this, that when this constructor was called, so here before anything like printed, before it was printed here, so there was an implicit super constructor call, something as super, like this. This is the first statement, which actually calls the parent class constructor. So remove it now. So if I go to identifiable, and this constructor would be called, and that's why the first line printed here in the output is this line, inside identifiable constructor. And then it was in this ID field was initialized to null because we are not setting this value anywhere here. And then finally, when the constructor returns, then in our unit test case, so we are setting this value as ID05. So using the setter method, and that's why before serialization this was all printed like this. Now let's run the deserialize method. Run test deserialize. So it's running now. Okay, now you see that our assertions are all well, which means that the ID field, first of all, is null because the constructor of only the parent class was called. You can see that we only see one constructor being called for the parent class. There is nothing similar constructor being called for the child class which implements serializable. This is what we learned, right? That once we have this market data with inheritance, because this implements serializable, and once we serialize it, only the state of the object is saved to the stream of bytes. And once we deserialize it, only the exact state, the constructor is not called. Only the exact state of the object is being retrieved from the stream of bytes. But the parent class, the inherited field, ID field, it was not implementing serializable. That's why it was defaulted to null from this constructor. So guys, this was all about chapter 16, that how inheritance affects serialization. In the next video, we will cover chapter 17, which is using externalizable interface. So see you all in the next video.